our 20s, we saw this dream that we have time, but actually that's not the truth. Hello mes amours, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy and I make videos about everything that has to do with books, fashion and self-improvement. So if that's something you'd like to see or hear more of, please consider finishing this video and checking out my other ones. Thank you. As you can see from the title, today is like a step-by-step on how to really meet your goals in 2023. I don't know if you've noticed it, but like personally, I feel like each year I become more and more focused and more attuned with my goals, and this year just feels like everything is possible. This year feels like the year where I'm gonna achieve all of my goals. 2023 is the year. I cannot wait for what it has in store for me, and I hope it is for you too. I'm guessing it is, to be honest, because if it wasn't, I don't think you'll be here watching this video. That first of all, two groundkeeping information I have to give. The first one is, in this particular video I would not talk about systems. I personally feel like to achieve your goals, systems are the way to go, but in this video I'm going to focus on goals rather than systems. Second thing also I'm gonna say is, I was watching a video recently by a YouTuber who is called Vanessa. She was saying goals are more numerical, intentions are more of something you can tick off. You are the one who will determine at the end of the day whether you feel like you've achieved it or not. Those were the two groundkeeping information I wanted to say before starting the video. A big part of this video has been inspired a lot by The Defining Decade. I read that book back in 2021 around January, and I feel like at that point of my life that is the book I needed to read. And the first thing you need to do if you want to achieve your goals, it's so self-explanatory, but I feel like it needs to be said. It is to be clear about your goals. If you're not clear about your goals, if you don't even know what your goals are, you cannot achieve them. So that's how it starts. It starts with deciding what is it I want to do in 2023. I made a video on how I sat down, I reviewed my year of 2022, and depending on that, I decided what goals I wanted to achieve in 2023. There were some things I did in 2022 that I wanted to continue in 2023. There were certain things I did in 2022 that I did not want to continue, or things I did not do that I realized that I didn't want to do anymore. If there's something even in the book that is mentioned, it is that if you're not focused, you don't know where you're going, there's a problem. Our 20s, we saw this dream that we have time, but we actually have so much time. 20s is our year to literally enjoy life, but actually that's not the truth. From what we've been noticing recently, especially with groups like FIRE, like Financially Independent Retire Early, basically people do all the work in the 20s so they can rest in the 30s. Not necessarily rest, but like enjoy life better, rather than being sucked in this whole idea that you actually don't have a life anymore, because once you get to your 30s, you don't have that much leeway or that much freedom we are accustomed to in our 20s. So I think there was a study that was mentioned in the book about actually like when you know where you're going, you're more likely to meet those goals in your 30s. And I think that's the thing in life. If you don't know where you're going, it's gonna be very difficult for you to get somewhere you like. If I go out in the morning and I don't even know where I'm going, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna spend a lot of time just sitting or standing trying to decide where I'm going, rather than like when I wake up and know I have to go to work, this is the route I'm taking. The clearer your goals are, the more focused you are. You need to know what it is exactly you need to achieve. And also, there's something I really feel like I need to mention, and it is that it doesn't always have to be monetary. We're falling in this box that everything we do now has to be monetary focused. And yes, monetary is important. I cannot sit here and tell you it's not a big part of my goals in 2023, but we also need to know this is not the only thing we need to focus on. It was only last year that I discovered that I could actually incorporate fun things in my goals that I wanted to try or do. It's not just about like wanting to graduate because I can get a good job or like get promoted at work. It's also about doing things that if at the end of 2023, and I do not wish that for anyone, you close your eyes, you'll feel happy that okay, I've accomplished what I wanted to do. And also I really want to stress that it's not all goals you're gonna be able to accomplish in 1 year's time. The last thing I'm gonna say before we end with this particular one is, if you're not able to define what your goals are, it's really going to be difficult for you to choose between or separate between what's urgent and what's not. The second thing I'm gonna say is, once you've established your goals, you need to be able to separate them in smaller steps that are quickly achievable. Here I also have to stress the importance of knowing what goals need to be cut in different chunks and what goals do not need to. Example, if you want to travel at this particular point of your life or visit a particular place, if you have the money and the means to do so, you do not need to separate it into actionable steps. But if it's someone that maybe doesn't have the financial means to do that now, or is not in the right point of their lives to do that, an example would be maybe they're at work and they need to wait until June, like summertime, to actually travel, or maybe they have to organize a lot of things. Maybe budget some amount of money they're gonna save. Maybe go to their work and book an holiday. It's not every goals that would need to be separated into different steps. It's not every goals that need to take long. Like you can tick something quickly and you can also separate it into mini goals that you're gonna be progressively like ticking off until you reach the bigger one. The third thing I'm gonna say basically is to have a support system. It's so important. And a support system doesn't necessarily have to be people. Although like when we say the first thing we think about is friends and family, this really depends on the individual. That's why you need to be able to decide for yourself what your support system might be. Personally, I feel like a support system, for example, could be me deciding to go online and telling other people or telling the internet what my goals are. And then I have this pressure of actually like achieving those goals, so I can go back with another video and say, oh yes, I've done it. And also the second support system I think I have, and it's kind of based on James Clear's book Atomic Habits, it's like your environment. And I cannot stress that enough. The thing with us human beings is we have this thing of thinking we need self-control all the time. Actually, no. In his book, he did mention the people that have the biggest self-control over certain situations are the people that are not in that situation, that are not exposed to that situation. For example, if you want to lose weight and then in your fridge you have junk food, you open your pantry or your cupboard, junk food, it's like you make it difficult to put yourself in the environment in which you do not have those things accessible. I think that's one of the examples they will give people when they're trying to lose weight. That is gonna deter you from actually losing the weight. And that's why people will get rid of all of their junk food and start buying healthy food. It's really not easy, but that's like the biggest thing. Your environment plays such a big role as to like how you'll be able to control yourself or follow through with your goal. If you feel like you can't study in your home, maybe start studying somewhere else. There are so many different things you can do. Find a way to tweak your environment in such a way that you make it easy for you to actually achieve those goals. And going back to the other type of support system, which I think would be more popular among most people, it will be your friends and family. Tell them, okay, this is what I want to accomplish this year. Have an accountability partner, little things like that that can actually help you reach your goals. But personally, when it comes to telling other people about your goals, I'm in the middle, because there's this study that was made that literally said when you tell other people your goals, you're less likely to achieve them, because once you say it, your brain is like already thinking I've accomplished it, so you have less pressure on making it rather than like not saying anything and doing it and then telling the word. Because at the same time, when you tell someone, you like find yourself in this situation where you want to actually like the next time tell the person, oh, I achieved it, rather than, oh, I wasn't able to. So it's really 50-50, and I think you need to decide what kind of person you are. If you feel like it'll be better for you to like tell other people about your goals or keep it to yourself. The fourth step I'm gonna give is to understand the consequences of your actions. The book that actually made me realize it was once again The Defining Decade. I told you this book actually did a lot when it came to me realizing that I needed to get serious in my 20s. There are consequences to everything. I'm not telling you something you do not know. There are consequences to thinking that your 20s do not matter as much, because according to society, we're still young and we can make mistakes, and that our choices do not impact us in our 30s. That is so dangerous. Here, I think I need to draw this line and I need to put this in parentheses. There's a difference between taking risks and taking risks. I know those sound the same, but they do not. There's a difference between doing different things that you feel like will help you find where you're going in life, and then taking risks that do not make sense because you think that you're young and you can do it. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm preaching at you or I'm like trying to tell you how to live your life, but what I'm trying to say right now is there are certain things when it gets to a certain parts of your life when you want to get focused, you shouldn't do anymore. I literally want to say once again, it really depends on the people. It really depends on your goals. People are different. We are allowed to live our lives the way we want to live it, but I feel like priorities is so important. You have to decide what's your priority. For someone, if the priority is to get pregnant, that's the priority. But if that's not your priority, you should know that there are certain things you shouldn't be doing. I'm not saying do not have the S word. I'm saying do not have the S word without protection, because you know that if you get to that level when you get pregnant, it's gonna be difficult for you to reach your goals. And if you've already gotten there, then you need to be able to amend your goals, to work with that, because at the end of the day, literally nothing in our lives is like so bad as to stop us from achieving our goals. There are a lot of women that prove it every day. You do not need to be single, you do not need to not have kids, or you do not need to be young or be in a particular part of your life to achieve the goals you need to be achieving. But it's just about getting serious with yourself and knowing what risk you should be taking and what risk you should not be taking. Every action in your life brings about a consequence, and it's your responsibility to know whether it is gonna bring about a positive consequence or a negative one. So to end with that point, I'm gonna say, I'm not saying do not take risks, but what I'm saying is really be intentional. Be intentional about each and every one of your actions. And that kind of ties back to point number 1, doesn't it? And finally, in direct opposition and contradiction to point number 4, have fun. I always do this. I always give like a point and then I give the opposite to it in all of like my sit down talks like that. Yes, you have to be hard with yourself, but you also need to know that there's a time to play, there's a time to have fun and enjoy your 20s. We're getting older, we're not getting any younger. At the end of the day, it's good if you're looking on the internet for ways to have like a good year in 2023. What it shows is you're actually focused, you want to do something with your life, but don't put pressure on yourself. And also that kind of ties back to point number 1, in the sense where like if you were to close your eyes tomorrow, you should want to feel like you've done everything you wanted to do, or at least try to do everything you wanted to do. Do not just make it like all work, hustle, and no relaxing time. I know you may be telling yourself, I will relax once I've made all the money, but find ways in your life to do that. I was watching a video recently and the girl mentions one thing to like have at least one day in the week where she doesn't work, she just relaxes. And I was thinking, that is such luxury. Like now recently I'm seeing how like a lot of people are not just including work related goals, it's also about fun goals, reading books, self-care time, discovering new places, traveling. It really makes it so much better, doesn't it? Imagine like having one of your goals to visit like a place you've always wanted to visit and actually achieving it by the end of the year. Tell me that won't give you joy. If your goals do not give you joy, you will not focus on that. And I think if we all being honest with one another, the goals we didn't meet last year, to a certain extent, it was either 2 things. It's either they really scared you, or they didn't give you joy because you thought you were making those goals for yourself, but in actuality, you were making those goals because you felt like that's what you needed to have as goals. That was tip number 5. Guys, 2023, like I said, it seems like such a year where we all so focused and we all know where we're going, and I'm really proud of you, each and every one of you, even watching this video now, wanting to make 2023 your best year yet. We can do it. I genuinely believe in you. I'm gonna be making more videos, especially at the end of each month now, kind of like doing a reset month to see where I'm going with my goals. So if that's something you also want to see, I hope you subscribe. You can also like put in the comment section below if you have any goals you feel like you want to achieve this year, or even like if there's anything you feel like I didn't say that would help others to achieve their goals in 2023. Like I said, we can all do it. I believe in you guys. I hope you achieve all your goals in 2023. I hope 2023 is your best year to date. I hope you smash your goals. I hope to see you guys in another video. I'm thankful you watching this video. Love you, mes amours. Bye.